What's up, good people? You are now looking at highlight clips of the live show, The Grown Man Hour, with your host, Bernard Riley. Let's roll that not so beautiful bean footage. I appreciate that. We're gonna go to Black Ground Radio Network. You got the floor, you got the mic.
Yo, good morning to everybody, or good afternoon, should I say. Peace, Bernard. How are you, bro? Thank you for letting me.
Doing good.
Yep. I guess the question I have for the Black conservatives, since you guys hitched your wagon to the Trump campaign and the Trump administration, like, where do you guys go now? Because with Trump losing, the Republican Party has to recalibrate itself, and I'm not sure if Black men's issues are going to be one of the narratives.
Well, I kind of gotta strip you right. I gotta strip you on the way up with that one. You're saying now that Trump losing, where do you go now? Because you've hitched your wagon to Trump. That speaks to the notion or the stereotype that Black conservative men aren't really Black conservative men. They just riding on Trump because Trump looked cool and talked cool and got money and smashed porn stars. So I got to strip you on the way up with that. There are Black men who are actually conservative in their views and their thoughts and what they want for Black people. So you can't. I feel like you're starting off on a bad foot. What are you going to do now that Trump is not in office? Did conservatism die?
Well, no, I know.
I would like to hear.
Damn, that's how you Thanos snap a nigga. God damn, he just disappeared after I hit
I was about to say I would like to hear him restate his question because I'll be happy to answer it. I'm not, it was more bromide than actual earnest question. So, yeah. But in any event, let me say this that as a black Republican, I can clearly lay out what it is that I stand for and the policies that I would like to see to make that come about. Number one, let's talk about commerce. In my opinion, and based on all of the research I've done about our time in this land, I'm not saying it's the only way, but I am saying it's one of the biggest ones for Black men to advance is through business. Therefore, ergo, I would like to see the Republican Party do what it's always done best, advocate for smaller government, less restrictions and regulations and red tape, more advancement of opportunity in the free market for enterprising Black men of talent to be able to do what they do. That's number one. Number two, I do want to see some criminal justice reform for the brothers that are not violent. They had a little scuffle or they had their dime bag or whatever. Okay, fine. They do their time. They serve they pay their debt to the state, and then they get a clean slate and a chance to start over. I'm for that. Number three, we got to get rid of the welfare state. It is destroying. It is hollowing Black America out from the inside. We got to kill it. If we don't, we'll never be able to get on parity with everybody else. It's the one thing that is destroying us. I mean, I could go on, but I mean, those are the big three right off the rip. Business, Black men.
Silent, but go ahead, Golden Child. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yes, man. It'll only take a few minutes, about two at least. But I appreciate you, Bernard. My opinion on this situation is the situation that the conservative Black men like myself and I guess the fellow brothers on this panel today is just my opinion. I think from looking at this, I think we fighting for Black men like myself. I think we fighting this war on too many fronts. And the reason why I say that because we fighting against the so-called government. We fighting in-house with our women, our women, our wives, our sisters, our aunts, within. So when you're fighting a war within, sometimes, because I'm a man from the streets, I dealt in the streets for a long time, so I know how to, maneuver within with amongst my enemies. So if we starting to see our sisters as our enemies, so this how to me personally, I think we should move on this. Men like ourselves. Sometimes you have to give a person what they want, and they will destroy themselves. And so conservative men that who you know getting themselves together or have themselves together, you know, you should sit back, you feed them, feed these people because they will destroy themselves. And so instead of fighting all these different wars at one time, because we don't have the resources to do this, we can't fight this machine because they feeding our black woman against us. So we really cannot defeat our own black woman to get to the, I guess, to the position or the point we trying to get back, like get our woman back in order. That'll never happen. With these women that we fighting against, that would never happen. I don't care how many packs you come up with, how many organizations you come up with. We don't have the money nor the resources to do it. So me personally,
are you saying do nothing? Hold on, wait, time out. I kind of got lost in what you were saying. Are you saying do nothing then?
No, I didn't say do nothing. I said as men like yourself and other men like you, what you do is you continue doing what you're doing. Don't put up a fight. Don't show no resistance, right? Keep doing what you're doing, but you don't have to put up a resistance. And I ain't saying stop doing what you're doing, like gathering your resources, but gather your resources to the people who will accept it, to the women who will accept it. Stop fighting that fight against those.
Hold on, but we talking about politics here.
Yeah, I'm
the
talking
individual. Okay, the individual man. Yeah, he needs to work hard and build his money.
Yeah,
and operate and deal with a woman who's on the board and on his program in his personal life. But you're saying for the larger conversation, for the country as a whole and the whole political scheme of it all, just shut up and go quietly into the night. That is doing nothing.
No. What I'm saying is that because sometimes with an enemy, you can't defeat him. And you have to realize, I can't defeat him in that battle. So sometimes you have to step back and allow him they will end up destroying themselves because you're fighting against two different people. You're fighting against your own black woman in this political game, and you're fighting against the machine in the political game. If you step back and move out the way, eventually
maybe we need to play the political game better. You're basically saying submit.
No, I'm not saying submit. What I'm saying is sometimes submission ain't always bad because if you allow the two parties that fighting against you, they don't have no enemy, they'll have to turn on each other. And they will demolish, they will destroy each other. And you will be sitting back.
Okay, Obsidian. Now do you see what I mean by like this is somebody who's on the opposite side of that line that I was talking about.
Explain that. Hold on. Explain that, but no, I want to know what you mean by that.
You basically said tuck tail, go quietly into the night. The weeds can't do nothing about it because black women too strong. That's
no, I didn't say that. No, I did. I understand why you assume I'm saying that. It might come off that way, but I'm not saying that because I know strategy. So sometimes you have to look weak to position yourself against the opposition. Because sometimes
BMT said a good way of doing that. He said, okay, the L is taken, take the L. So we're going to look weak, but we got to do this behind the scenes. That's when he started talking about super PACs, raising money. We was just talking about right before Obsidian came on, we talked about because I drew the comparison with Black Lives Matter, where people of all races just going throwing money at that. Is there a black conservative equivalent where we could even throw some money at? So we was talking about creating that. So even I can respect what you were saying if you were saying, hey, be silent, but do this in the background. You saying be silent, do nothing politically in the background, just find you a woman who just ain't that mean to you and shut up and be happy.
No. I'm not saying that. What I was saying is the equivalent of what he was saying, but he was mentioning the super PAC.
You were saying that it's the equivalent of what he was saying minus the important part.
No. It's important to to set up your.
And that's the Not So Beautiful Being footage for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, be sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And if you wish to support the channel, the best way that you could do that by becoming a Patreon. The link is in the chat. And once again, thank you, everybody. If you're here already, if you lasted this long, you ought to be subscribed. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, bang the bell, hit the like button on your way out. And once again, like to thank you. We are out of here. Peace.